All right, waiting on Eric. So this is for Eric's benefit. Boy, do I need glasses. I think it's the heat, age, everything incorporated. So this is Cliff. Yeah, so it's May 13th. Just time keeps flying. Eric keeps getting older, wiser, more handsome. So yes, we had a great session, I think, last week, and we're in the thrust of finals. A brief summer, right? So we shall see, but all right, where's my good friend Eric? And then, of course, this is for his benefit, but I know everyone's so busy. It's just not enough hours in the day, right? Logging in. There he is.
Hello.
Buddy, how are you?
Yeah, so today I'm feeling very good and the temperature is so high today.
Yes, yeah, you should, and again, right? You should never. You have so many different options through for life, right? To do so many things with your own life, so you should never be stressed, right? For the Gaokao or the Shao, right? Because you
Yeah, now I'm not feeling stressed
can.
because the examination this week or this weekend for the two subjects, biology, a part of biology and computer is very easy. We just need to deal with uh a little bit of hazards and then that's enough.
Yeah, I don't mean do not get good scores, right? Or good marks, right? You should always want to do well, but don't, right? Just you can attend university anywhere in the world. You can do whatever you so don't feel stressed, right? I know some students in every country only think about their own country universities, right? To get in, they feel pressured, so don't feel pressured. Have you heard this expression in English? Let me type this out for you, Eric. Uh,
Um, yeah, not enough hours in the day. I've heard similar sayings in different from different relatives and from different documentaries.
Okay. Oh, are some of your relatives, do they live in Australia? Do you like your some of your some of
No,
your
they don't. All
Okay.
of them live in China, but they will speak similar words in Chinese to me.
Oh, okay. Right. So what does it mean?
Hmm. So it mainly means the first one is about not enough hours in the day. In the day, it means the time when you're not sleeping, you're learning, but sometimes when you are too stressed or when you are preparing for a very important thing, not only an exam, you'll feel that the time isn't enough when you are doing it. You want more time even in the nights, or you want 25 hours, 26 hours, and that's it.
Yes, excellent. Very good. That was very long-winded, right? We can say that's another slang too. Long-winded explanation, meaning you explained it well. It was very 你描述很大的, right? It was very long. You gave a good description. In short, it just means you're very busy. Right.
Yes.
So I said this while I was waiting for you, talking in the dead time. Right. Dead time is another England right? Meaning de dead time when no one's interacting, when I'm just talking to the
Yes.
computer for you, dead time. That we record these sessions for you if you
Yeah,
want to
I've
go back.
seen.
Yeah, if you want to go back and repeat it, but we're all so busy. There's not enough hours in the day, right, to then go back and rewatch it. So, yeah, it's
Yes.
just little um, nuances, right, that are different, right, unless you live in the country, right? You grow up with the culture. It's hard to understand idioms, right, in the culture. Do you know what a nuance is, Eric? Nuances.
Mm, nuance. I think I've heard of it. It's about something really subtle.
Yes, very good, my friend. Do you know what is the origin? What country would maybe nuance come from?
Um, French.
Yes, very good. I would say so too. We might both be incorrect, but we'll just settle at that. Now, why is that?
Mm,
Why do you think it's
Well,
French?
yeah, because you have asked me a lot of similar questions, and the answer are mostly French, because a lot of English words they came
Yes,
from French, Spanish, and other European countries' languages. So it
yes,
sounds
yes.
more like French.
Yes, I would say sounds more like, right? That's why you are such a gifted linguist. Right, I'm trying to gradually push your mother maybe to have you learn another language, right? Because yes, it's French sounding, right? Nuance, right? Nuance, right?
Yes.
Sounds very French. Excellent, my friend. Well, what we can do, since you did not have time, right? Not enough hours in the day, we can just start off and then go to that worksheet. We can just leave off. Where was that? Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, above, right? The meeting and the video. Yeah, we can just download. We can just continue where we were before with your paper and just review the
Okay.
rest of it. Yeah, so we can do that together. That's not a problem, my friend. All right. So here we go. Let's enlarge that. So everything else is good. It's warming up in Yancheng.
Yeah, it's really hot today.
Good. Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, so O. Henry, right, is a grand American. Go ahead, Eric. You read your own work. Please read the first
Okay.
paragraph.
O. Henry is a grand American short story writer who wrote about ordinary New York City citizens' lives. Typical for O. Henry's novels is a twist of plot that turns on an iconic principle and coincidental circumstances. The Last Leaf was written in 1836 and it is undoubtedly one of his classic works. The literature artist regarded the last leaf as the leaf of life.
Excellent. Again, that is a fabulous. No, that was a very good opening paragraph, right? The leaf life, and I like that title, right? It's interesting.
Yeah,
So when you're doing academic English, Eric, like if you take an English literature course at university, or you're doing anything of academic, right, English writing, you don't want to try to use a contraction. This is more colloquial, more slang. So if you're writing to your girlfriend, right, or whatever, you're writing to a friend, you can put it's, right. But
yes,
in general, right, it is. You want it's more formal, right, for academic purposes. Okay, the last leaf is the story between. I think we started getting a little confused in the second in the body of the paragraph. So
yes,
last leaf is the story between Sue and Johnsy, two young painters in the slums of Washington. And this was excellent. This was a good use of English slang, right? The twist of the plot, the twist of the story. So
yes,
that's very good. And then slums in Washington. Okay, Jonesy caught serious pneumonia and was in a desperate situation. That's good. As a young painter, she placed her hope on the last vine leaf outside the window, thinking that when the vine leaf fell, her life would end. Um, so again, you always want to draft your papers, right? Pretending the author doesn't know. It's a good skill, right? A good practice. The author doesn't know,
yes,
pardon me, pardon my bad word, but what the hell, right? What is going on, right? They're completely clueless. So you want to elaborate, honey, right? You want to describe as best as possible what's going on, or what you're trying to express. So I don't know. I didn't read the last leaf, right? Not enough hours in the day. I've been busy myself. So can you better explain this or preface this? Like what is going on? What's with the leaf and her
um,
being an artist?
yes, okay, because John C. or John C. she is in a desperate situation. and suddenly,
Financially or physically or money or
physically, and mentally.
okay, so you might want to include that, right? So obviously physically she
Yes.
has pneumonia, so we know that. So Jonesy, so also physically and mentally, mentally?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that will help preface, right? So this is English slang, or not English slang, this is English literature terminology. Do you know what a preface is?
Mm, no.
Okay, so like in a book, like right for my book, I think I put a prefacing, right, about like what my book is about. So pre,
Yes.
right, is a suffix, and that means right before,
Yes.
right? So you could say like yeah, like a prefix, right, is English grammar word, and a fix is the word, and then the pre comes before the word, right?
Yes.
You can say, what's another one? Preliminary, right? So the politicians or the governments had preliminary talks before the big talk, right? Little ones maybe
Yes.
before the big one. Can you think of another pre word?
Um,
You can say maybe pre-sort things out.
yes.
Like before you organize it, you pre-sort it. Um,
Yes.
but
And
there's many
yeah,
prefixes.
precautious.
Precautions. Good, Eric. Very good, right? Right. For example, right, we are studying together as a precaution in case you decide to attend a native English speaking university, right? You will be better prepared, right? Hopefully, right? So as
Yes.
a precaution. Excellent. Very good. So as a preface, it's always good to provide as much information as you can to then share it with the reader who has no idea what's going on.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you understand me a little
yeah,
bit?
I
Yeah. All right.
understand.
Okay, brother. Yeah. All right. So Jonesy caught serious pneumonia and was in a desperate situation. Desperate. How can you? Where could you put mentally in this sentence that it sounds
Um,
good? I know. I mean, I think it sounds all right at the end, right? What do you think? Right?
yeah, it could
Mentally.
be at the end.
Yeah. So the last leaf is a story between Sue and Jonesy, two young painters in the slums of Washington. Jonesy caught serious pneumonia, so we know she's physically ill, physically sick, and was in a desperate situation mentally. Good. So as a young painter, she placed her hope on the last. Now, what's her logic? Why is she why is she placing hope on a leaf? Why is
Um,
this?
because as the title, it is the last leaf on the vine tree, and at the same time, she lost hope into living her life. So she
Uh,
thought, yeah, that's the meaning.
okay. So, but what does that have to do with her being a painter?
Um, yeah, there's not much to do with the painter.
Okay, well, let's just get rid of that for now.
Okay.
Okay, so we've already said Jonesy, and then so Sue and Jonesy, two young painters in the slums of Washington, caught Jonesy. I'm sorry, Jonesy caught serious pneumonia and was in a desperate. So then the reader can infer that Jonesy kind of sounds like a man's name, right, or a boy's name. So,
Yes.
but then we can infer that by using Jonesy that it is a she then. So then we include she. So she placed her hope on the last vine leaf outside her window, just double up on it, I guess. Or was it her
Yes.
window or just a window?
Her window.
Her window. In thinking, right? In thinking that
Yes.
when the vine leaf, okay, fell, that it would, right?
Yes.
That it would end her life. Okay, do you think right, maybe one day I always right, you can do whatever you want, Eric. You're so smart, maybe you'll be a doctor. Do you think this is like good thinking? What would be another word for this that you are thinking rather foolishly?
Mm,
It's a pretty big word.
yeah, I've heard of pessimistic.
Yeah, you can be optimistic, yin yang, right? Optimistic or pessimistic,
Yes.
meaning you're not thinking positively. I'm thinking of along the lines of suspicious. Very famous song, right, by Elvis, the old teacher.
Yes.
Suspicion or suspicious, right? To be suspicious. So I'm going to think she placed her hope on the last vine leaf outside. She suspiciously use it as an adverb, right?
Yes.
Suspiciously up. Sorry, how do I misspell it? But there we go. It makes us so lazy to have spell check, right?
Yes.
When I was your age, we barely started typing on the computer, let alone had spell check. So she suspiciously placed her hope on a or the. What do you think is better?
Um,
I don't know if it really matters, but instead of using the, put a last line.
yes.
What? Yes or no? It's I don't know if it
I
makes
think
sense.
we should use the because it
Okay.
is the last leaf, not a
Yeah,
last
that makes
leaf.
sense, right? That's good, right? That's the title of, yeah, that's good. Okay, good. I like the way you're thinking, right? Good. All right, the last vine leaf outside our window. In thinking that when the leaf, all right, we've already used vine leaf. We've already used
Yeah,
vine, so that would be what's that called in English literature?
redundant.
Yes, Eric, fabulous. So that is a redundant word, or so we don't need it. Leaf that okay, when the leaf. Oh, okay, sorry. Mentally, she suspiciously, ooh, that's hard to say, placed her hope on the last vine leaf outside her window and thinking that when the leaf fell, that it would or it? That it. I think that it maybe. What do you think? That it or just it?
Leaf. Yeah, so from what we have learned, our teacher told us do not add a that.
Okay. Yeah, hey, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Leaf fell. It fell. Do we need a comma? I don't know. Fell. Sometimes you place commas by your own knowledge,
Yeah.
right, of a language, of a European language. So like if I'm reading this, so I would say she suspiciously placed her hope on the last vine leaf outside her window and thinking that when the leaf fell, right, then I'm pausing. So I would include a comma. But again, my belief, right, Eric, is less is best. Less is better. So leaf fell would end her life. Okay, I think that's a little bit more explanatory, right?
Yes.
Like the reader, I'm starting to understand what's going on. So therefore, she lost the courage and faith to survive. Okay, all right. Now, what do they want here? They just want two. Oh yeah, we already went through that. I like that. So screw off, whatever, Microsoft. I like in order to
Yeah.
get guidance from seniors at school or older children, older
Uh,
kids,
older painters.
older painters. Okay, because in the difference, right? We've gone over that between connotation, right, and denotation, right? Have we gone over that?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So what does connotation mean?
Connotation, it mainly means, um, it's not its basic meaning, it's the meaning spread out from itself.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Or it also could mean like a cultural connotation of
Yes.
what it means or what it doesn't mean, as opposed to what's the denotation of a
The
word?
denotation is just the meaning itself, what it stand fundamentally, and the thing we can see in the Yeah.
Yeah, no, or right, just literally means the definition of the
Yeah,
word,
the
right? What
definition.
it truly means. So when you say seniors, right, in American English, so again, you have to know your audience, right? So in the U.S., it can mean olders or your elders, right, or older people. But it also can mean if you're talking about children, it can mean right the seniors, the oldest class in high
Yes.
school, right? In high school or college, right? Uh, so you have to be cautious of what people will connotatively understand from what you're writing, right? So
Yes.
again, know your audience, right? Who you're writing to. So what are you really trying to say in this sentence, Eric? In order to get guidance from seniors, who are you really trying to mean?
Mm. I mean, because Sue and Jonesy, they are young painters and they want to receive help from older
Oh,
painters.
that's it. So in order to get guidance from oh, what's a good word for that? Someone that is older and that you respect their opinion. Right? Like who are what's one word that is pretty good when to use for that?
Um,
Your your peer.
yeah, peer.
Right. And then what's the plural, right? Peers, right? So her peers. So throughout, she lost the courage and faith to survive in order to get guidance from her peers, right? Her peers and her friend Sue. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. So therefore, she lost the courage and faith to survive. In order to get guidance, I would say Jonesy consulted. Did she talk to?
No, it's Sue who did the whole thing.
Oh, okay. So in order to get guidance, her friend Sue, did she consult with their peers? Consulted,
Yeah,
talk to?
yes.
Yeah, to get guidance, right? You would consulted with their painting peers. You can even say if they're older, right? You don't know. A peer could be someone like the girl that always gets a better score than you, right?
Yeah,
She
that
is your
would be a
peer,
peer.
right? You guys are both
Yes.
peers. So she consulted with their painting. They're older, right? They're older painting. They were older in age.
Yes.
Yes, they're older painting peers. Uh, okay, so what did they get? What did she do? So Sue. So in order to get guidance, her friend Sue, maybe comma, consulted with their older painting peers to do what? To
Um,
Well, to get advice, but get advice about what, Eric?
uh, about how to get off of the so much trouble and continue um addicting to painting.
Ah, okay. So consulted with their older painting peers to consulted with their older painting peers to, I'm still unclear, to,
To the older painting peers.
yeah, but why was she what answer did she want to get? Like,
Well, she wanted to get how to get out of so much trouble and then continue in painting.
oh, you mean to get out of the mental, right, and the
Yes.
physical. Okay. In order to get guidance, her friend Sue consulted with their older painting peers about, right, how Jonesy can get healthy, I guess, right?
Yes.
Just get
Yeah.
healthy? Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is it necessary that you include the older painter Berman's name,
Mm,
or is it
yeah,
not?
no, it's not necessary.
Okay, so we can say that as maybe at this point now it is superfluous, right? Meaning it's not necessary. So all right, so let's get rid of
Yes.
that. All right. Who has a hot temper? He has.
Yeah, we can also get off this sentence too.
Okay, get rid of that. So that was Berman. Okay, we don't need
Yeah.
Berman. Okay. Oh, one, just one. You do one. However, Sue and Jonesy were cursed heaps of time. Failed to receive. Were were cursed with heaps of time.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, wherever you decide to study, so in England or Australia, and obviously South Africa, right? Because you spend more time with your South African teacher. Americans, we do not say rather heaps. What do you heaps? What would you think in the U.S.? What would you think we say?
Um,
I understand because I lived abroad. I teach with other Commonwealth right speakers, so I understand. But if you decide to go to U.S. college, what would you say instead of heaps?
oops. Yeah, I am not very sure about that.
You could say, well, in this
Numerous.
yeah, in this way, you could say bestowed or given is very easy. Like given
Mm,
much and then much time, right? Instead of heaps. Um, so you'd say, however, Sue and Jonesy were given much time. Were given what? How? Who were like? How did this heaps of time come about? Like, why is heaps of time important?
mm, the reason is because, uh, as we have wrote, the two young painters, they are trying to get guidance from their old painting peers. However, they did not get any guidance. Instead, the peers said that there is no hope. So it's about heaps, a heaps of times of cursing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm still a little confused with that. Let's just highlight this and come back to that. All right. So then something amazing happened. Why did you use the semicolon here?
Um, yeah, it's maybe.
Because that really should only use those on special or really rare occasions, very infrequently.
Yeah, so because in Chinese we use the semicolon a lot in order to show that what are we talking about in the following. Mainly we
Right.
use I will give you 1 point when we use the semicolon in Chinese. So first we can say there are some points we need to be aware of, and then semicolon is, and then all the points below. So it is used to point out all the main points in the
Yeah.
following.
Yeah, no, I understand that, right? So you're gonna have to, right? And if you learn another language too, right? It's so hard. You're gonna have to put on one writing hat or typing hat, right, and take off the other. Um,
Yes.
so I don't think it's not advice. Like you would use this like if you're like a list of something, right? Like
Yes.
yeah, like you're grocery shopping and you 1, 2, 3 or something like that. But here we don't. You could just use a period, Eric, right? Then something amazing
Yes.
happened, and now we need to describe what it is. Yeah, I would just get rid of even though.
Yes.
So then something amazing happened. Period. The wind
Yeah.
blew so fiercely, and the atmosphere outside grew, right? Maybe grew is a good one. It's right.
Yes.
It's maybe you're painting a more beautiful picture of it, right? You're captivating the reader. The reader's like, ooh, grew so cold that now you need that, right? That the leaf stood
Yes.
firm on the tall vine branches. Good. Again, I think that's pretty good. Maybe we could do the preposition. You could try to fit it in here somewhere, but that's pretty good. We're still going to come back to this one. All right.
Yes.
So then, as Jonesy saw the last leaf still hanging sturdily. Okay. We don't need a comma, right? So as Jones, oh, maybe we do. Way to go, Eric. So you always get me at least once. All right. As Jonesy saw the last leaf still hanging sturdily, she regained. She.
Yeah, she.
So why would you? Why
Her
would
her
you?
face. Her
Her,
face.
yeah, her, right? You got to watch out about that, right?
Yes.
That's huge.
I didn't
Well,
notice that.
yeah, in today's day and age, though, right? The pronouns in the West, right? Especially in Thailand, lady boys and they want to be. No one wants like he, she, but I understand because just your ta zai zhongwen, right? Is he, she, right? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's all encompassing. So just yeah, again, especially on your IELTS, right? Because they like to be a stickler for that. They like to be difficult
Yes.
on that. All right, the wind blew so fiercely and the atmosphere grew so cold that the least, I would say, still stood firm. Yeah, stood firm. Still stood firm on the tall vine branch, right? You only have one branch, Eric.
Yes.
Right? Branches. How can one leaf be on many branches, right? So it's just on
Yeah, that's
one.
true.
So as Jonesy saw the last leaf still hanging sturdily, she regained her faith and stubbornly survived. Past tense.
Yeah.
Okay, and suddenly survived. All right, that's a little bit better. I still don't know what this has to do with this sentence, but we'll come back to it. So, in the novel, is it a novel or is it a
Yeah.
short story?
I think it is a short story, but O. Henry is famous for the novel, so it is called a novel.
Well, well, he is a novelist, right? He's someone that
Yes.
writes novels. But the last leaf was a short story, right?
Okay, so that's not a novel.
Yes or no? I don't know. It's a short story, right? It's not an excerpt,
Yeah,
right?
it's definitely a very short story.
Okay, because an excerpt, right, would be part of like something you read part of a novel. So that would be correct, you using this.
Yes.
But he just wrote a short story, right? So then instead of the
Yes.
novel, you just want to be more specific and just say in the short story or in his, right? Because I
Yeah,
think,
it is.
oh, yeah, oh, Henry is a man, right? I think so. I
Yes.
believe so. So in his short story or in this short story, you could even be more specific. In this short story, Jonesy and Sue's friendship isn't given much detail. Okay, that's pretty good, right? Nevertheless, from the vivid and delicate depiction, again, this is just something. This is really right. If you get really anal, or I don't know, if you're getting really specific, right? What did I tell you, right? When you're using adjectives, to use the alphabet,
Yes.
right? So maybe I think maybe it even sounds better. I think it sounds better from the delicate and vivid depiction, right? It just sounds better, I think, that way.
Yes.
Um, do we need a comma? I don't think so, man. No,
Yeah,
no
no.
comma. So, nevertheless, from the delicate, vivid depiction, again, this is an academic paper, so don't use a contraction. So, it is
Yes.
clear to see their possessive, right? Their sincere bonds, right? Yeah. So first of what do they want us to do here? First, they're common. No, first of all is all right. I don't know why Microsoft doesn't like academic writing. I don't that's good. This is very good for academic English writing, Eric. Excellent. So first
Yeah,
of all,
maybe they want to simplify.
yeah, probably. I think all of all of our cultures, right? We want just one language. Everything's like going towards like just one thing. It's rather ridiculous. All right,
Yeah,
first of all, their common pursuit of art and life brought them together. Okay, why are you using? Well, that was a semicolon. This is a paraphrase. What is that again? Hold on a second. I'm losing my mind with English grammar here.
yeah.
This is a
In Chinese
semicolon.
learning, we use the two, um, yeah, we can call them language symbols a lot.
Yeah, so that's a semicolon, and that's just a colon.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, you need to be very careful using both of these, Eric, right? Because they're not commonly used. I've been using semicolons a lot. I don't know why. Maybe if we had my writing, then I could try to explain it better, but I don't know why. So first of all, their common pursuit of art and life brought them together. Period. Okay. Then, since you put first of all, and this is more of an academic one-page paper, what could you type here?
yeah, secondly,
Yeah, perfect, Eric. Right. So, secondly, Sue took patient care, or took patient care of Jonesy. You could even be contrite and say good patient care of Jonesy
yes,
when Jonesy suffered when Jonesy had pneumonia, right?
yes,
Because you don't want to use a preposition, right? You don't want to use from, right? So had pneumonia. Sue stood. Well, that's redundant. So Sue and herself.
yeah, she,
Yeah. Or you can use Sue, but I would just, yeah, Sue. Sue is fine because you're bouncing from Jonesy to Sue and they're both females,
yes,
right? So Sue stood all these, but didn't tell her friend the truth. What do you mean by this, man? So Sue stood.
yeah, yeah, this is a wrong sentence, I realized. So, the sushi stand, oh, these, so that is true, but didn't told her friend that's not true. Both of them, like, um, faced the trouble condition together.
Okay, right. Yeah, so Sue stood all these, but didn't tell her friend the truth. Okay, how could just get just I'll type it in. What would you think is a better sentence then?
Mm, yeah, we can say both Sue
Wait, hold on a
and
second. Let's use dictate and then ready. All right, go for it.
okay.
All right, ready. Hold on.
Um,
All right. Oh no. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I've never used dictation. That's all right. All right. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry, I'll transcribe here.
okay. So both Sue and John C. faced the hazard with bravery.
Yes, good. All right. Um, Both okay, well, both, right, is a preposition, so
Yeah, we
you're
can get
yeah,
rid of it.
incomplete sentence. I would say Sue and Jonesy, right? You don't need both.
Yes.
Sue and Jonesy is it plural, more than one, or hazards?
Yeah, hazards.
Hazards with bravery. Okay, or again, you're ending this with a preposition, so how could you put bravery in
Yeah,
that you don't.
just put it to the front.
Yeah, or it's also an adverb, right? So you could
Yes.
say bravely or bravely face the hazards, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. In guaranteeing.
Yeah, in guarantee.
Yeah, you think so? So Sue and Jonesy bravely faced the hazards, guaranteeing, yeah, that. No, you need that Jonesy Jonesy optimistically fought
Yeah, font.
her illness, right? I guess, yeah. I still, if you've got time, I want you to have fun, right, this week, but then still like try to, it's just good practice, right? Try to fine tune it this week, before our next session again. I also would like you to do, another IELTS maybe this week would be good. But all right, so Sue and okay, Sue. Let's just one. Sue and Jonesy bravely faced the hazards, guaranteeing that fought her illness. Okay, this is a heart to heart. Good use of a English slang there. Heart to heart. This is the heart to heart friendship that everybody pursues. This is a heart to heart
Yes.
friendship that everybody pursues and yearns for. This is good. This is very old English that yearns for. How else could you say this, Eric, though, rather than yearns for? I don't, in today's English, I don't think many people would
Um,
know that.
yes. So be eager for.
Yeah. So, all right. This is a heart to heart friendship that everybody pursues. Maybe you need a comma, right? And
Mm,
yearns, maybe yearns better, or you did put yearns. God, Jesus Christ, I'm losing my mind, Eric. This is a heart-to-heart friendship that everybody pursues and desires or wants
yes.
and desires, right? And desires, and you don't need a comma. Okay, all right. Your conclusion, right, or your final, the last leaf.
Yes.
Yes, I think yeah. Why don't we get in the habit of either putting a comma,
Okay.
right? And you don't, or not comma, apostrophes, and you don't then need, why? Because it's a title. You don't need it blackened and you don't need it
Yes.
italicized then. You just do the last leaf. It's not an article, right? It's a story,
Yeah, story.
right? And since we've already used story, another word for story would be, what do you think,
Um,
Eric?
yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe
What's
tail.
well, yes, perfect. That's exactly what I was saying. A synonym for story, right? So last leaf is a tale full of human beauty. Good. That's a nice sentence, a beautiful sentence, right? Jonesy and Sue's friendship and the profound meaning of the last leaf. Yeah, that's good that you italicized it, and I understand it's not, you are referencing back
Yeah.
to, yeah. So I get it. That's good. That's good. A reader should get that, right? So the meaning of the last leaf still reminds, right? Pluralized.
Yeah, I think it should be remind without the S because they are um two characters that we are talking about. The first one is John C. and Sue's friendship, and the second one is the profound meaning of the last leaf.
Right. Yeah, however, Jonesy and Sue's relationship or friendship, right, and the profound meaning of last leaf, it it reminds all of us, right, humanity.
Yeah, we can see it as a whole.
Okay, all right, no, that's good. I get it. Remind people. Uh I don't know. I'll let you research that on your own, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna just highlight that. All right, reminds people to have faith in life.
Yeah, be faithful.
Yeah, people have. That's okay. That's good. It's not the best, right? And again, you're ending in a preposition, but that's also a phrase, right? A slang
Yeah.
phrase. So that's okay. It's okay. And then, although life is filled with difficulties and hardships, we don't need a comma, right? I don't think so,
No,
right?
we don't need.
There are always, right? Plural, because you're doing s. There are always forces that support. Then you get rid of that s, that support people to keep moving forward. Okay, that's another good one. You may want to write as soon as you read this,
Yes.
review it, maybe change it a little bit, but that's okay. It prompts people to change the status quo. Excellent, right? Status quo, Eric. Very good. Now, where does status quo come from? Where's the etymology of that?
Um, yeah,
What country? What
uh, status quo.
quo?
Quo.
Sure, yeah, or Italian Latin, right? It's from the old Latin
Yes.
language, right? Status
Yes.
quo. And what does that mean in English?
It means the condition that you are in now. So the
Yes.
sentence is about you're trying to change the bad condition into something you feel proud of, and you can get rid of your bad habits.
Yeah, or it just means yeah, it's just where you're at now, the predicament that we're in now.
Yes.
So it, like, for example, right, in more contemporary life, right? So the status quo, we were all living with masks because of the virus. So that was where we were
Yes.
at. So now the status quo has changed, right? So maybe now we're starting to relax.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So change the status quo and pursue a better future. All right.
Yeah,
It prompts
pursue
people to
it redundant.
yeah, this is kind of awkward, right? To do so many commas back to back to back. So it prompts people to change the status quo and pursue a better future. Period. Okay, how can you rephrase this final sentence?
Um, yeah, this or all these demonstrate the goodness and beauty. No, all these demonstrate human nature's beauty and goodness
Yes, human nature's beauty, good,
and goodness.
and goodness. Yeah, yeah, that's nice. It's a little Pollyannish, right? I think we've talked
Yes,
about that word, right? I think I spelled it correctly, Pollyannish. Meaning like it's a little bit there's not much meat to it, right? You're kind of just like, "Oh, life is beautiful," right? It's kind of like, not very serious, but
yes.
I think that's great. I think that was a good academic essay. I'm going to save this. If you'd like to rework it, that's good.
Okay,
Um, but definitely if your mom wants to get you another IELTS essay, try to do that this week too, right?
okay.
But I'll just send this along with you. But that was good, Eric. That wasn't bad. That was good. If I was to give you a grade, I'd give you a B, right? Like A B C D E F on that. Some
Yes,
teachers, if they're harder, right, at university, you might get a C, right? And especially the problem is, like, if you come out of the box, right? There's another sport metaphor, right? If you come out of the hitting, like, if you do a really good, if they know that you're capable, right, especially in writing, to do better, and then you do something worse, right? They're going to be, well, why are you
yes.
lazy, right? They're going to expect better things from you. So I've seen you already. I've seen you type better. So that's why I would just give you a B, and yeah. So all right, my
Yeah,
friend, let's plop down here. Um get that off my desktop. It's now part of yours. So all right, let's do which one did you want to do? You wanted to do
the elements.
yeah, all right, cool. Sounds good. Was this it? No.
Um,
Food science? No.
no, no. The extraordinary
Yeah.
elements.
Yes.
This.
All right, cool, man. All right, let me make it bigger, brother, here. Hold on. All right, excellent. All right, Mr. Kong, please read everything. Yeah, please read
Okay.
this first group of words.
Okay. Extended reading comprehensions. Extraordinary elements. Read the science passage. Yeah, we don't need to read that. Earth, fire, water, and air. The ancient Greeks believed that these four elements were the basic building blocks of all matter. In science today, we still define elements as fundamental substances, but the elements are more numerous and quite different from the four described by ancient philosophers.
Yes. Now, again, this could be one of your assignments, right? Like more reading and writing in a science class,
Yes.
right? Like at university or what have you. So, okay, go ahead and read this about. I don't know what. Oh, okay. There's the questions, I guess. Go ahead and read the whole box about atoms, elements, and then two very different elements.
Okay. Modern elements and elemental overview. Atoms and elements. Elements are made up of tiny particles called atoms. which in turn are made up of three tinier subatomic particles: protons, electrons, and neutrons. Individual elements are made up of all the same kind of atom. An element's atomic number is determined by the number of protons in the nucleus of each of its atoms. The known elements are listed in numer
That's all right. These
n-
are big
yeah,
words, big scientific words. I'll
numerical,
read it after you. That's all right.
yeah,
So numerical order.
numerical order on the periodic table of elements according to their atomic number.
Excellent, very good. I'll just go ahead and read this then to
Okay.
help you with your, these are big science words, right? And again, if maybe well, if you go to med school back in China, that will be what have you. But yeah, these are if you go to medical school, you'll have to read these and maybe read these out loud, right? Too. So, elements are made up of tiny particles called atoms, which in turn are made up of three tinier subatomic. So, subatomic particles, protons, electrons, and neutrons. Individual elements are made up of all the same kind of atom. An element's atomic number is determined by the number of protons in the nucleus of each of its atoms. The known elements are listed in numerical order on the periodic table of elements according to their atomic number, right? And you know this already, I think. Okay, go ahead, Eric. Read about the two very different types of elements.
Okay,
Two different elements.
two very different elements. The simplest, most abundant element in the universe is hydrogen. Each atom of this naturally occurring element has only one proton, so its atomic number is one. It is the lightest of all the elements. The much heavier element, organocesson, has an atomic number of 118. Organoson is a synthetic element made by scientists in a high-tech machine called a particle accelerator. This machine creates high-speed collisions between atomic particles to help scientists study how the universe and its elements were created.
Excellent, brother. Very good. Yeah, this one is new to me. I'm not really a physicist, or I'm not right. Ogenison, I think. So I'll just give it a go with that, right? So the simplest, most
Yes,
abundant element in the universe is hydrogen. Each atom of this naturally occurring element has only one proton, so its atomic number is one. It is the lightest of all the elements. The much heavier element, oganesson, I believe it is. You can go online, you can look it up, right, and hear how it's pronounced, right? Has an
yes,
atomic number of 118, or oganesson, right? So I'm just going oganesson by syllables, right? Is a synthetic element made by scientists in a high-tech machine called a particle accelerator. This machine creates high-speed collisions between atomic particles to help scientists study how the universe and its elements were created. Okay, interesting. Oh, that's a very long worksheet. All right, go ahead, Eric. Try to read as fast as you can, man. Try to speed up.
Okay, each known element has specific properties. Those with similar properties are grouped together on the periodic table into categories. For example, there are particular types of metals and nonmetals and a special group of noble gases. These categories help scientists predict how elements will behave under certain conditions and react when combined with other elements. There is still much to learn about elements and their potential technological applications, but there is no doubt that many elements have properties that make them extraordinarily cool in more ways than one.
Excellent. I think maybe you're overthinking when you read a little bit slower. Maybe that was perfect. I mean, there was
Yeah,
nothing
I
wrong
was
with that
thinking
one.
about
Yeah,
how it is, the structure of it is.
yeah. Maybe when you're trying to you're trying to be too precise or too perfect when you're reading slower, right? Maybe just go ahead and read faster. But that was excellent. That was perfect. All right, how do I do this? There we go. All right, number two, right? This is it. Oh, there we go. Right? No, nitrogen.
Yes,
Number nine, nitrogen.
nitrogen.
Boy, it's a lot of reading, but that's all right. We're helping you with your your English science knowledge here by reading this. All right, go ahead and read about nitrogen, Eric.
Okay. Nitrogen is a non-metal with an yeah, atomic number of 7. Like all the elements, it can exist as a solid, a liquid, or a gas, depending on temperature and as atmospheric pressure. Under normal atmospheric conditions here on Earth, nitrogen is a colorless, odorless gas. It makes up 78% of the air we breathe. Nitrogen is essential for all life. That makes it an exceptionally cool element as in excellent and awesome. In
Yeah.
its
Well, no, go ahead. I'll just read this again so to help you.
okay,
So nitrogen, I would think this would be even British English would be atomic. So
yes,
atomic. So
atomic,
nitrogen is a nonmetal with an atomic number of 7. Like all elements, it can exist as a solid, a liquid, or a gas, depending on temperature and atmospheric. Right. So
yeah,
atmospheric pressure under normal atmospheric conditions here on Earth. Nitrogen is colorless. We know this is of American origin. I think it's an American website too.
yes,
To know you. Odorless gas. It makes up 78% of the air we breathe. Nitrogen is essential for all life. That makes it an exceptionally cool element as an excellent and awesome, right? Only Americans we use the word awesome. We really love that word.
yes,
Let me see. Were there questions to this, Eric, at the end, or is it just describing?
yeah,
Oh,
let
there
me
were.
see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we've got more time. Why don't you just read this? This could be your homework, man, if you want to do this,
Okay,
right? Or we'll also, yeah, this could be your homework as well as review. If you want to go over that essay, and then if your mom wants to pick out a random IELTS question for you too, right, for next time. So that would be good. All right, go ahead, brother. Read about, read number 4 and 5. We'll just finish up nitrogen.
okay.
Okay.
In its liquid and solid states, though nitrogen is very, very cool, as in, yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what
well,
is
it's just a
this one.
sound, right? So it's kind of being creative, being funny a little bit. Yeah, so in its liquid and solid states through nitrogen is very, very cold. As in, when you get cold, you go brrr, right? As
Oh,
in
I
brr.
know.
So it's just yeah, it's trying to be
Yeah.
a little bit funny. Brr.
Yeah, as in burr. Nitrogen condenses into a liquid between uh mm,
Well,
yeah.
Sanbai, right? 300 and
Yeah, it's minus
yes, correct, right.
346
Yeah,
um
Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Yes, Fahrenheit.
And minus 322 Fahrenheit.
Yes.
Temperature is much lower than the coldest temperature even recorded anywhere on Earth. Liquid nitrogen instantly freezes things that it comes to contact with. It is manufactured and used to flash freeze food products for transportation over long distances. Some ice cream shops even use liquid nitrogen to instantly make customized ice cream flavors on demand for their customers. Now that's definitely cool.
Yes.
Even cooler than liquid nitrogen is solid nitrogen. Icy solid nitrogen covers the surface of Neptune's largest moon, Titan, one of the coldest known places in our solar system. Geysers on Titan spew liquid nitrogen that freezes on the moon's surface. Some of the nitrogen evaporates or evaporates,
Evaporate,
forming
correct.
evaporates, forming a thin atmosphere around this tiny, distant, and very cold moon.
Excellent. Some very good words in this worksheet for you to further increase your English vocabulary. Again, try to be like, your brain is special, right? You're obviously fluent in both languages. So this was ever, not even. So again,
Yes,
you might not have a problem if this is given to you in an essay, but I am definitely a more dominant English. I didn't learn really languages. My language skills, my bilingual language skills are definitely not as good as yours. So I need to look at every word and read it precisely for me then to write an essay. Does that make
yes,
sense? You might not have that problem because you're already bilingual, right? In two, so might be easier for you. It's how you go about it. But yeah, this is excellent. So let's just drop this down, Eric. So yeah, so Eric, yeah, Mr. Kong, if you'd like to revise and rework your above essay, as well as finish the, what was this called?
Extraordinary elements.
Yeah, the extraordinary, as well as finish the extraordinary. See how I put in commas, right?
Yes.
Extraordinary elements worksheet. And, right, if your mom would like giving you another random, right? Random IELTS essay assignment. That would be great. All right, man. So what's going on for school? You still have school this week, right?
Yeah, we still have school, and tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock we'll head to school.
All right, cool. And then when does summer start for you?
Summer, yeah, let me look at the calendar. Probably in the middle days in June we'll finish the final exam, but we'll have maybe a 15-day camp for
Oh yeah, that's
summer.
cool. That
Yeah,
sounds
so
like fun. Yeah, and then
we'll
you
start
yeah.
our formal summer holiday from the 1st of July, I guess.
Yeah, and then you have generally like Chinese school summers or what, about two, right? 2.5 months?
Yeah, 2.5 months, but the time left it for us are only about 2 months or only 1.5 months.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. America, I think we still do it the same. Like we would have a very, you have Winter Festival, right? Which is about a month. We only have like 2 weeks for Christmas and, right, the other holidays. We only have 2 weeks, I think, during winter festival, right? But then our summers,
Yeah,
I think we have 3 months.
yeah, that's
So
much longer.
yeah, it's structured a little bit differently, which is another reason. That's another good reason, right? To maybe think about studying in the US, because if you only come back to China once a year, you'd have 3 months, right? You have a
Yes.
bigger time to come back and stay with your family, right? So, all right, brother, have a good week, man.
Yes, wish you the
Yeah.
same.
All
Have a
right.
good
Yeah, I'm
week.
trying to. It's really hot in Thailand. It's hot all the time down here in Thailand. So yeah, it's ridiculous. But all right, brother, I'll
Yes.
see you, man. All
Yeah,
right,
see
take
you
care.
next
Bye,
week.
Eric. Bye, bye,
Goodbye.
brother. Bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.